Chapter 18, question 92. You're given W, X, Y, and Z reactions, and they have intermediate from the first compound to the last compound. So how do you turn the first one to the last product? Okay, by going through other reaction. So that's why there's an intermediate. Intermediate is something that is formed first before you get the final product. So we go straight to the first reaction, W. Now, W, right, the first reactant is C3 carbon. Okay, CH3. Now, second one, you have a CH2. Then this is also a CH3. Now, this has to form something that we do not know what. And at the end, you get CH3, okay, CH3, H, and Cn. So let's check what's the difference between this and this. Now, one more Cn is being added to this carbon. Right? This carbon, you see, H, CH3, CH3, H. This will be H, CH3, CH3, but Cn here. So how can we turn this? What can we replace this H with so that later this H can be replaced by Cn? So try to recall all the reactions that you have learned. Which compound can be converted to a nitrile? Okay, so the first reaction that I can think of is halogenal alkane with cyanide ion. Okay, so let's say the middle one is a halogenal alkane. Before this Cn, okay, let's say I use chlorine. Okay, I replace this with chlorine, CH3. Of course, I can use any halogen. I can use Br, I can use I. But I just want this to be later, okay, substituted by Cn. Then I go back and look at this again. Can I turn this into halogenal alkane? This is an alkane. Yes, I can use free radical substitution. Okay, so now I can kind of confirm that the intermediate for the W reaction is this halogenal alkane. Okay, so I'm going to put it here. This is CH3, 2, CH, Cl. Alright, now I'm going to erase this whole thing, okay, because I'm going to need a lot of space for the next reaction. Now, the next one will be X. Okay, the reaction X. Now, reaction X, we start with this alcohol. So this question is about how well you know all the reaction in the organic chemistry, AS syllabus organic chemistry. Now the intermediate here, and eventually I want this to form a compound like this, hydroxynitrile. Now I can only remember that hydroxynitrile, okay, is a product from the reaction of carbonyl compounds. So carbonyl compounds will actually react with HCN with the presence of NaCN catalyst to form hydroxynitrile. So the intermediate must be a carbonyl compound. Now I look at X. X is a secondary alcohol. That means my intermediate will be a ketone. Okay, which makes sense because after this we get hydroxynitrile. Okay, hydroxynitrile, okay, this will react with HCN with the presence of NaCN. So cyanide ion is added to this carbon, and then the H, okay, is added to the O. So we get hydroxynitrile. Therefore, for X, the intermediate is ketone. Yeah, I'm going to write here the answer so that we can compare later, yeah, because we are finding which two reactions they have the same intermediate. But obviously W and X, they do not have the same intermediate. Again, I'm going to erase this. And let us now look at reaction Y. Right? Reaction Y. Now reaction Y from an alkene CH3 CH double bond CH2 to an intermediate, then right to an alcohol. Now of course there is a way to convert alkene directly to alcohol, but because this case they want us to find a two-step reaction, so we cannot think of the direct method to convert alkene to alcohol. Now again, what can I do to make this form an intermediate which can form alcohol? And again, I can only think of halogenal alkane. Now, hydrolysis of halogenal alkane later will give me an alcohol, meaning this OH, right, should be a halogen atom. Let's say Cl, I put Cl also, because in the first case I put Cl, right? So this case also I use Cl, so that they will look the same to you. Of course, you can use Br, you can use iodine. Okay, now can I turn this to halogenal alkane? Yes, I can use HCl. Now, if I add HCl, okay, H is being added to this carbon, Cl is being added to this carbon. So I get this chloropropane. So why the intermediate is a chloropropane, which actually looks like the intermediate for W reaction. It's okay, we just write down first. Okay, we can check later because we still have one more reaction to go, which is reaction Z. Alright, now let me erase this again. We are going to the last reaction now. Reaction Z. Now, the last reaction, we have a ketone. Okay, this ketone will be converted to an intermediate. Then that intermediate, okay, is converted into a halogenal alkane. Oh, I'm so sorry. It should be an ester. Okay, sorry, my mistake. Should be an ester. Okay, now let's look at this reaction. I have a shorter chain in the final product. I have more carbon in the ester. That means this ester must undergo hydrolysis. Okay, I will break the CO bond in between so that I get smaller carbon chain at the end. Let's do a hydrolysis. So in the hydrolysis, this ester will form two products, the carboxylic acid and also the alcohol. Now, this alcohol will be the intermediate that will later be converted into this bromopropane, 1-bromopropane. So we can use HBr, okay, we can use PBr3 to turn this alcohol into bromopropane. So this is the intermediate for the last reaction. Okay, so I'm going to erase this. I just want to make space for writing the intermediate for Z. Okay, CH3, CH2, CH2 again, OH. This is the intermediate. Now let's compare all the four intermediates. Okay, which two are the same? This is for W, this is for X, this is for Y, this is for Z. So Y and W and Y reaction, they have the same intermediate. So the answer is B.